Hi, I'm Clayton with Pro Co-op. Today I'm joined with Jake Brown, a CSA out of Graettinger. Today we're going to discuss herbicide carryover and damage. The rates applied, the soil properties, and weather are all some of the main factors contributing to soil herbicide injury.
If you are using the full labeled rate of a herbicide, it will stay in the soil that much longer and could cause damaging effects the next year. Also, overlapping is a main concern because you get double the rate of herbicide in that area, and the later the herbicide is applied in the fall, the less time it has to break down over winter for the next crop year.
The soil properties also have a huge effect on the carryover. Heavier clay soils will have a lot longer holding capacity than the sandy soils. The herbicide will attach to the CEC sites on the soil, and it won't move as quickly through the soil profile when the rain comes. So there'll be more damage in heavier clay soils than there will be in sandy soils.
The last factor affecting herbicide carryover is the weather. In the warm, dry weather like we're having this year, there's not enough moisture to activate the herbicide, so it will stay in the soil longer and doesn't have enough microbial activity to break it down. Ideally, when it's warm and wet, you get a lot more microbial activity to break down the herbicide, and you don't have to worry about carryover as much. In the winter, the moisture doesn't do a whole lot of good because the microbes are not very active in the cold weather, even with moisture.
If you're having concerns about herbicide carryover, it's always best to check the label and see what the planting restriction is and the rainfall required in that amount of time. If you are concerned about herbicide carryover, it's always best to limit the stress early on in the growing season. So make sure you avoid planting in cold, wet soils. If you have to delay planting a couple weeks where you have a field where you might have an issue, that would be recommended. And also preventing other stresses such as pH, and make sure you have optimum fertility levels for that plant. If you have any questions on herbicide carryover or damage, be sure to contact your local Pro Co-op agronomist.